Moonlight in the Night Sky by Mrs. Sanderson's second grade class, West Huntsville Elementary School. Moonlight, moon bright, look how bright I am shining tonight. Well, hello, Mr. Sun. Thank you for shining so brightly on me. All the people in the world see me because you reflect your light on me. But you know, it is so lonely hanging out here in the night sky. I wish someone would come and visit me again. You know, it has been 35 years since my last visitors came to play on my crater playground. In the 1960s, Warner von Braun built a liquid fuel 3-stage rocket that was taller than a football field. He named the rocket Saturn V. One night, as I was hanging out, a sudden blast erupted through the sky. The Saturn V had blasted off of its launch pad at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. With excitement, I watched intently. The Saturn V burned each stage one at a time. The first and largest stage burned for 150 seconds. Then it began to separate. The second stage began to burn, and it burned for 360 seconds. And when it separated, it had the rocket 114 miles above the Earth. It separated from the rocket and fell back toward Earth, but it burned up in the atmosphere. The third stage put the rocket into my orbit. They are on their way to see me now. The command module separated from the third stage, and then it flipped around and hooked to the lunar module. The astronauts opened the hatch door and crawled inside the lunar module. I can't wait to see what they're going to do next. Well, look, the astronauts landed that lunar module on my beautiful dusty craters. It felt like a big hug from all the stars around me. Two astronauts in big white suits, a gold shield on their helmet, and a big backpack climbed out of the lunar module. It was Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. They made huge footprints in my dust. They were the first men to step foot on my dusty soil. Look, they love me. They are kicking my dust, singing songs, jumping in the air, and picking up my rocks. Hey, astronauts, take my dust, take my rocks. I know all the children on Earth would love to see what I look like up close. This is my gift to you and to Earth. Well, look, I believe the astronauts are going to leave me a gift. A red, white, and blue flag from the United States of America. I will fly that flag forever. Yes, they're leaving it. Now I'm so excited. Their footprints will stay in my dust forever too, because there is very, very little air here and no wind for the moon dust to blow away. So over the next 5 years, I had 12 astronauts come to play on my craters and mountains. 6 astronauts circled above me while the other astronauts worked on me. On 3 of the trips, the astronauts brought me 3 lunar rovers. Lunar rovers are like cars. The astronauts used the lunar rover to explore more of my craters and mountains. They left the rovers because they could not carry them back home. They found big craters that had been filled in by the liquid lava that was produced by volcanoes on my surface. After they traveled around on my lunar playground, the astronauts came back and played games. They did an experiment on a hammer with a hammer and a feather to see which one would drop the quickest. Which one do you think? And they also talked a lot about me. After a few years, the people on Earth were very tired of hearing about my reports. They thought I was rather boring. The USA did not get enough funding for more missions to come and visit me. So, the mission stopped, and now I am lonely again. The other night, while I was hanging out with the stars, I heard that these rockets will replace the space shuttle, and by the year well, it's time for the astronauts to go back home. They climbed in their lunar module. The astronauts blasted off to reach the command module that was circling above. They opened up their hatch and crawled inside. Then, the lunar module jettisoned off of the command module and went in orbit around the sun. Now, the astronauts are in the command module, ready to come home. I know there'll be a lot of people waiting and be excited for their return. The other night, while I was hanging out with the stars, I heard that NASA is building the Constellation rockets. These rockets will replace the space shuttle. By the year 2020, astronauts will return to play on my dusty playground. Can you believe that? I am working on a special gift for my visitors. Do you have any ideas? I hope you trainees will be wearing the next spacesuit that will bring you right up here to play on my playground. But until then, remember to look up at the sky at night. Look for me. And remember what I will be singing. Moonlight, moon bright, my bright light is shining just for you. Good night.